I'm a cool
no,
kid.
let's get your camera fixed. Did it get bumped and set up?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I'll do the same for you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the GamerDad Talk Show. We are live in studio. And let's go here. We'll do our intros. To my right, we have Ender Barton.
Heyo.
To his right, we have James Barton. And behind us on the couch, we have David Barton. David, why don't you introduce your brothers the best you can and in the most embarrassing way you can think of.
Okay.
That's good. I'm just going to do a quick camera adjustment on everybody. Make sure you all look okay.
Thank you.
James Barton is my older brother. He is a registered nurse, does a bunch of nursing stuff. He has a bunch of cats, which he loves. Lives in West Jordan.
How many is a bunch?
I mean, they're not just a bunch. I mean, each one of them's my children.
That's like just saying I've got a bunch of children and they've got names and stuff.
Yeah, I have 7 cats right now. Sorry.
7.
Yeah, that's a long story too with all my cats.
Do you have a favorite cat?
Yeah, I do. And it's an issue at my house.
That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, there are favorite children in most families, so which one of you guys think is the favorite in your family? Sister or one of you guys?
Yeah, it's me.
My mom's always made it very clear to me without any doubt that it's me.
No. I think that's what she does to all of us.
Yeah.
Guys, how do I grab in this game? I
Yeah,
can't.
my mom did do a good job with that.
David's playing Limbo over there.
Oh, it's square. Yeah, so yeah, we used to live together a bunch for a number of years. Yeah, super smart guy. Ender, he's my younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
We used to live together for a number of years. He is currently a postman, also super smart.
Is there a time you didn't live together for a number of years?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering why you keep saying it like that. And I'm like, huh.
That's true. There was times off and on we lived together and then didn't live together and then even through adulthood.
Yeah, I lived with both David and James as a grown-up.
Ah, I see.
I did
Yeah.
James's basement for a little
And here's
while.
a fun fact, if you guys didn't know this. I'm the only child that never went back and lived at Mom's house. So
Weird brag.
I know, I feel like you guys all got closer together, and I didn't.
You know what? Yeah, I've been there, did that. Had to live with Mom for a little bit. It worked out, though.
Yeah, I'm still living at Mom's.
Well, that's okay.
Separate units.
Yeah.
Separate units.
She keeps saying the same thing just because she doesn't want me to move out. She keeps trying to convince me. It's not you're not living with your mom. Like
I wouldn't think it's living with your mom. I get on KSL and I see places like that all the time. Like that's 50% of where people are living.
Yeah, this is true. We just drove by one of the apartments down the street, and it's like the dumpiest, smallest place we could even think of in our whole neighborhood, and it's still like $1,300.
What?
Yeah, and my wife and I, we were talking, we're like, how much was our first apartment? It was like $525, and we moved to a cheaper place that was $425, and we thought like that was still pretty hard. I mean, this was year 2000, so in 24 years, average dumpy apartment price has tripled, and we're just like, holy smokes, that is just nuts. So my son, he's moved out. He's got a roommate, and they're just doing it together. And I think theirs is a little over $1,100, which is, it's a really run-down kind of place. But they're doing it okay. But man, I mean, that is a big old chunk of your paycheck when you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just can't even think of having to do that as a young kid right now. It's bonkers. So
Yeah, it's
no
so hard out there.
worries living with Mom. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are tough.
Well, there's
out there.
definitely perks, but
Oh yeah.
the catch is staring at me out the window.
Are you guys a little warm? I can open the window, get some of that nice winter air in here.
I was a little warm, but
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
took
mind
off.
I figured you guys were going to be warm, so I wore a sweater.
All right. Well, let me know if it's unbearable, and we'll
I was going to ask about the sound on this TV. Is that coming through okay? Do you want me to turn off the sound? somehow?
Oh yeah, it'll probably come through. So very cool question right now. I I put aside Destiny 2, and I did a big video on this a couple weeks ago. And I'm in a really fun spot going through my old back catalog. And I'm really excited to start playing things I've never done before. My question, though, and I've posed this to each of you, I want a new game that I can play while we're doing this show. Something that doesn't have a whole lot of story, because, I don't want to sit here and miss a bunch of really big story beats while we're sitting here chatting. But something that is either classic and timeless. Maybe it's something we've all already played. It's like, oh, who hasn't played that game? Because that'd still be fun, because I don't need to worry about the story. Or something kind of like Tetris-y or race car, something that I can just do that's fun and that you guys have liked. I'm thinking like Slime Rancher, something that's kind of puzzle based that might be kind of cool. Oh. But I've got like $20 to blow sitting in my wallet it's been sitting there for months in my PlayStation store, and I'm just like, I bet I could find a pretty cool dirt cheap game that would be really fun to play and just kind of mindless fun. So while we're sitting here tonight, rack your guys' brains and see like, this would be a fun game. Because I know you guys will be able to some.
You threw out a lot of criteria there. I have been thinking it'd be fun if you jumped on like Diablo 4, which is one of my main games right now for social gaming, Mm-hmm. I have a few friends that play, we get on for the season, ramp up our characters, then, move on to something else.
Let's see how much it is right now.
As well, you could even go further back. Diablo 3 is, in my mind, a classic game where you can just plow through, thousands of enemies and just chill out while you're gaming. But it's not, I wouldn't say either one of those is very puzzly.
Yeah. But, Diablo, do you really play it for the story? Is it really that interesting? Yeah, exactly. So if it's like a hack and slash kind of thing, that might be a pretty great idea as well.
I've been playing a lot of roguelike games, which I never thought that I would enjoy a game that's so much permanent death and restart.
Yes.
But I've really I think Vampire Survivors was what really got me started on that, and I've been playing that for a while. And there was a new one that came out recently, and I would think for the podcast it'd be interesting to have, because then it's always like a fresh character popping up, someone new. You can do different builds or different maps, super slick. And it's just a great game, even on mobile.
Huh.
My wife was addicted to it to the point, too, that I was like, you're playing that game too much. I was doing the same thing.
I did not like it.
And then the other one is I don't know if this is a Baltaro. Those are the two kind of simple games.
Baltaro.
I'm trying to get my brothers to play, and
a new person I've been playing with, he also mentioned Baltaro. He said it was pretty dope, and I said I will not pay $10 for a mobile game. So,
well, it's $13.49, so you could pay more than that now.
Yeah, I think mobile games. I would rather pay $10 for a game that has no ads and no in-app purchases. For me, that's almost an instant buy. If it's like, hey, I kind of like this game, and it's never going to cost me any more money, or try to get me to play something else.
$6 or something. Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay.
So. And plus, David, you bought that $20 skin for Diablo 4.
You're buying horse armor in a bunch of places. You should not be buying horse armor.
Yeah, I do go a little crazy for cosmetics. So.
Yeah, you and Travis, my gosh, when you guys were playing Destiny back in the day, I can't believe how much you guys would spend on that Eververse. You're just like, oh, that's a cool helmet, boink, boink. That's cool. Those are cool gauntlets, boink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
much.
So much.
I didn't know you spent so much money on that game.
Dude,
I don't even want to talk about Realm of the Mad God.
No. How much me and Cassandra have spent on Fall Guys?
That game's free, Jim.
Yes.
That game's totally free.
It's totally free. But I spent $700.
Neither me or Ender
Dude,
know who spent more on that game at this point.
Yeah.
I'm talking quad digits. It's embarrassing.
So I'm actually thinking of going back and playing Control. Have you guys played Control?
No.
Okay. How about any of the Alan Wake games?
No.
All right. So they take place in the same universe, which is very cool. It's all about like alternate dimensions. And I don't know, it's pretty wild. But I actually played Control first. I had a year-long subscription to the Stadia. Do you guys remember the Google Stadia?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I gave it a shot. I was an early adopter. And it went sideways, and they actually refunded me my full $129 purchase price.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I got a year of gaming for free, which was actually pretty cool, but it kind of stunk that it didn't work. But anyway, so I got to play all of Control, and it was a really, really cool game. And once I learned, I mean, the old Alan Wakes were on Xbox only, and I've always been a PlayStation guy. So I went back, started playing Alan Wake just a couple weeks ago since I put Destiny down, and the story's very cool. I can see how it's relating to Control, which was a fantastic game, and now I'm kind of thinking I want to buy Alan Wake too, but I'm thinking for the purpose of sitting here and playing something through that I've already done, which is interesting to watch, I think it might do Control as well.
Yeah, do it, and then I'll watch tomorrow.
Yeah, see, there you go. But I'm also thinking of like kind of getting it started on my Patreon stream, so that way people can kind of jump back and forth, and if they're interested in the story. But it's pretty dang fun, and it's a beautiful game. It's all PS5 optimized, so it's got all the ray tracing and all the bells and whistles turned on, which is fantastic.
It's crazy all the different gaming platforms we've had just in our lifetime. I mean,
Oh, seriously.
so many. And I just think about the computer. Like, the computer's always been there, and I've never had a computer growing up. So I never got into that era of gaming, and now I struggle to play my gaming computer that I spent a ton of money on, just because it's just easy.
The consoles make it so easy. Whenever I play with PC,
just like,
people
look,
they're like, "Where did my sound go? Why did my HDR turn on?" Talking to you, buddy. You know who I am. And so, yeah, PCs are great for some things, but I think you can't beat the simplicity of having a console. You turn it on and you do it.
And
It's
you do
easy.
it.
I want to break into it though, because like, unless I can use, have you guys ever seen those Azeron controllers, the one with like 25 buttons for one hand?
Yeah, they're
And
pretty crazy.
I got used to that for a while when I was playing Ark, and it was a lot of fun, and it worked so easy once you kind of get your muscle memory.
Yeah, my boys got me the, whatever these are called, the Pulse. No, I'm thinking of the headphones. I don't even remember what these are called.
DualSense.
Yeah,
Edge.
DualSense Edge. And I love it. I mean, it's, you got yours? Oh yeah. Don't you
yeah,
love
bro.
it? Isn't
It's
it
a
like the
game
best
changer.
controller you've ever used in your life?
I do. I
Yeah,
It's
I
hard
love
to go
this.
back. I use the different
Go get
back
one.
buttons though.
Yeah, so I use this kind of for anything that's either jumping or running, because you can just hold it down, right?
It will wear out on you. Be careful with that.
Of holding it down. Well,
I
that's why
used to
you
use this one
swap
too
it out.
much, and then it broke inside. It might have been also because I dropped it a few times.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. And then I actually have this other one for like grenades and stuff, but I can't remember the last time I actually used it. But for like dodging, like in Dark Souls or like any of the FromSoft games, it's fantastic. I love it for jumping in like first-person shooters, because then you're never actually taking your thumb off the
Jumping and
stick.
crouching.
Yeah,
You never
super awesome.
run and gun.
Yeah,
You're perfect.
so
You're good
good.
to go.
My game, I agree, a total game changer.
That's what I told Cassandra. I said, we're going to get these controllers. I know they're expensive, but it'll step up our game. And yeah, as soon as oh my gosh, what a game changer. And
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I freaking told you.
my kids were like, "Oh, it can't be that good." And I let them play with it for like 10 minutes. They're like, "Yeah, this is pretty freaking awesome." I'm like, yeah, it is.
Oh, well, let me test one out, David. Pass it over. I was looking at
There you
they're seriously, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're like $200. I think it was a Father's
mean-
Day or birthday present they all went in on.
Yeah.
You could get a Scuff for like $250, $300, and it has all four. So it's not like, I would say it's pretty low on the price of when you get to those premium controllers.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I did buy a Scuff after, I think it was whichever one of you bought one. I can't remember. Sometimes I get you guys mixed up because you're twins.
Oh, weird. So the biggest problem though with like my Scuffs was drift. You'd get drift after a while, and PlayStation. I feel like you should be paying me for saying these things, but with the DualSense Edge, they actually have you can put in replaceable. What do you call these sticks?
Yeah, joysticks.
Yeah, they're
There's-
replaceable joysticks.
Yeah,
So if you ever
you
get
open this
drift,
thing, you pop it out, they're like $25, and you got a new joystick instead of a whole new stupid controller. And since my PlayStation's been out, I've literally gone through 4 controllers, and at $80 a pop, you know, I mean, this controller's more than paid for itself, which is flipping awesome.
That's a good point. This is my second one, and I'm about ready to need a new one.
Yeah, see,
there you go.
it's crazy. I
Check
like
out
what-
my affiliate link in the description.
Oh, chaos mode unlocked. Okay.
Yeah. Is that going to be a thing? Can we just add things to the...
I don't know. I
The
told
list.
Nick we should have a fake producer named John, and you just tell John to do things. John, do we got a definition on that word?
Yeah, there you
No?
go. Whip it up, John. Come on. Sorry. I was looking at all my pop-ups that just came in this game. I can be a John, though, right now. So that's why I've got my 3 screens over here.
Dude.
Do you want me to look something up?
No,
Look
it's
up
the-
David, means pompous, know-it-all, smell. No, I'm just kidding. It actually means beloved. Did you know your name means beloved?
I did.
Aw.
And what's even more fun, if you know me by my handle, Habib, it also means like my love in Arabic. So no matter what you call me, my main name means love.
Oh, that's sweet.
Which is also fun because my favorite shape is a heart, for those that didn't know that.
I didn't know we were allowed to have favorite shapes.
You can have a favorite anything,
No one asked
bro.
me that when I was in kindergarten. Not one time. It was always color, color, color.
Yeah.
I gotta pick my favorite shape. For the
Favorite
clover.
shape, favorite number, favorite letter.
Triangle.
That's a good one.
I love that number. All right, so I'm playing Bloodstained. Have you guys played this game?
I haven't.
It's a Metroidvania. It's actually really, really
Oh.
good. I like it a lot. I'm playing as a totally different character here. Now I'm kind of regretting it because I haven't played it for a while. But
Yeah.
I forgot how dark my game is, and I'm like, oh man, I hope our kids aren't watching this.
I doubt it. I loved what you said, though, James, about just, so the Atari 2600 literally came out the year I was born, 1977. My dad bought one. Video games have been part of my life since day one. And so I cannot ever even think of a time that I didn't have some kind of controller to mess around with, to have fun with. And my grandparents would come over and play bowling on, on the 2600. And back then it was literally just a couple squares, being knocked down by a bigger square by a guy made out of squares. But Mario came out, Super Mario, Nintendo. It was just like the coolest thing that has ever been created. And I never looked back. So all my boys are gamers. I've had to find a way to balance in my life because they can just suck you in and kill your social or your every moment of the day that you have, especially as I became a father. But everybody's in bed usually in my house by about 9:30, 10 o'clock tops. So I usually at least get like 2 hours a night to myself, which is pretty nice.
That is.
And then you marry someone like David did, who's just like, I will just play every day that you are right next to you, which is flipping awesome. So,
Yeah. Perfect situation.
are you guys
would
in
think
similar
a perfect
situations?
situation.
And why is this not a perfect situation? Do tell.
It's great. It's honestly great, but Cassandra will tell you, and those who know me know, I like to jump around games a lot. And Cassandra seems to stick with them a lot longer than I have. So there's been a few times where I was forced to play games I was kind of done with, like Apex. Apex Legends. We got really into that for a long time, and
I
that
just
was
call that a running simulator.
well, for her it was a looting simulator. So
Though you
But
never
we did-
actually shoot anything. You just
did
pick
pretty
up stuff
good.
and die.
oh man, that game got so frustrating. And then she'd be like, I'm not going to play with other randoms online, so if you don't play, then I can't play my game. all right,
true.
we'll play some duos.
See,
and then, like...
You got the guilt gaming.
Yeah, what was the other one? 7 Days to Die. Dude, we got... Remember that world we got on Ender? Forever. We were on that world forever, and now I always want to be playing something else. But it was my world, so she couldn't play her game because of the way that you have to host that game. Anyway,
Yeah,
look at me complaining that my wife wants to hang out.
It's freaking ridiculous. Gosh. She always wants to be where I am and do what I'm doing. Gosh.
Honestly, yeah, for the most part, it's awesome. But every once in a while, I was like, dude, I'm so done with this game. Please try any other game.
That's funny. Christina lets me play games probably more than I would expect, and I'm pretty expectant. But Like I can go home and play for hours. If I work late that day and like I'm home, I'm just literally just playing this game all day. Sometimes I can. It is nice. Sometimes I think I do it a little bit too much, but I mean that's what I'm working for is peace and harmony. And Christina has a good time too. She does whatever she's doing, playing her game, does her nails.
There you go. Yeah, my wife, she's a big time reader, so sometimes she'll just check out. She'll literally be 3 feet away from me on the couch, but she'll just read a book and I'll sit there and game. So she can't do a lot of gaming. She gets really motion sick from pretty much anything that's not a side scroller or a platformer.
Our dad actually showed us gaming. He was the one that was always playing Zelda, and it's funny because I think when he was that age, I mean, he was probably my age or younger when he was playing Zelda all the time.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Think so?
Well, Chris must have been born by the time the Atari came out.
I just remember
Yeah.
dad running around trying to get all the fairies because they were cute.
I remember we got a Game Shark on when Ocarina of Time came out. And I don't know who brought that over, but it ended up deleting Dad's file, and he gave up on gaming. He never played another game after that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You feel so guilty? I do now.
I've always felt a little bit guilty, but it's not like it was my game or my, Gamer Shark. I probably wasn't the one that caused it to be deleted. So, I can only hold so much responsibility for that.
Yeah, I mean, plus it's a game. I mean, you gotta expect, and I'm sure it happened all the time. Oh, my brother erased my file. We used to fight about that.
I remember we got
So many
Ocarina of Time, and Chris got grounded from playing it because he went ahead and beat the first 3 castles. And he got ahead of everybody.
He what? He really got grounded for that?
Because you can't play that game till everyone's caught up. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We had a really interesting.
Yeah, that was big
childhood.
news when that one came out.
Like, you got too far ahead. Then you always know when somebody played it, though. You're just like, oh, no, I haven't seen this flipping jerk.
You already got to the castle? How did you get past these guards?
It must have just happened. Well, the power was off or something.
Yeah, did we have a shared file? That's why I'm like, I think back about that, and I'm like, I don't know why it was a big deal that he got ahead.
Well, I remember, like, the first time that N64 Zelda came out, I don't know if it was Chris or Dad or who got to play first, but whoever got to play first, everyone was watching, and, I never was able to find that sword for the first time without having a hint because, I was watching someone else play the game.
Yeah.
I'll never get that experience now.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I had a really good friend he was kind of spoiled. He had a whole bunch of he had like every He-Man you could ever even imagine. He was into He-Man. But he also had all the Nintendo games, and he subscribed to Nintendo Power. And so I'd always go to his house and just read through his Nintendo Power as much as I could, get all the tips and tricks and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably pretty older than all of you guys, but I mean, how old are you, James? You're the oldest, right?
I'm certainly the wisest. I'm 38. I'll be 39 in February.
All right. So yeah, you're within my realm. I mean, I'm about 9 years older than you, but excuse me. You still had Nintendo. You still had the N64. You knew what it was like before you could just. Well, I mean, we all know what it's like before you could just hop online and find whatever you're looking for. But
yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, I remember being in 6th grade, and I was just thinking, if I had a little TV that I could hide in my desk, we could be black and white and staticky, and only get local channels. I wouldn't care if I just had this little TV. All the way till I'm a grown up, and I'm thinking about the intro for Donkey Kong Country. And I'm like, I want to listen to that. So I download an emulator and a ROM on my phone, and I boot up the game on my phone at my desk at work. was like, that's how far we've come. I can
Yeah,
have
crazy.
anything I want right here.
Yeah,
It's
right
true.
there. I mean, you could do that with even like PS2 games, and I think there's PS3 game emulators, but you start getting into gigabytes of storage now, and it's like
Come.
not very practical for your phone. But I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah. Little dedicated Raspberry Pi units have every game
Yeah,
on them. Every game.
so nuts. So all right, so I think I asked David this a while ago on one of our last shows, but what is like the very first game you guys could remember just being so into that it just consumed you completely? And let's maybe go past like Mario Brothers, because we all probably did that as kids, but and you already said Zelda, so that was probably a huge one.
Yeah, A Link to the Past was like my beginning game.
That was like our family game. Like
Freaking love
we
that
all
one.
played Zelda. We were all excited for it. We all took turns having save files. It was like that didn't happen very often, but you get 3 people and there's only 3 save files. So when it's your turn, someone has to delete their save. And back then, it's not like you had 60 games on your phone. You had 1 cartridge.
Yeah.
But I would say the first game that really consumed me was really just games that I'd play with my brothers. Like, I think Realm of the Mad God was a huge one, just because that was such a pivotal. I'm having some chair malfunction.
Uh-oh.
Realm of the Mad God was, I came home from work. This is just when I was out living on my own, working as a construction worker, and I started working at the hospital, so I came back home. And I'd come home and I was actually making fun of Ender for playing this cartoon game. I'm like, what are you playing this game for? Turn this nonsense off. You're over here watching some cartoon and now you're playing this game? I think I was, just joking, but I'm sure it started out as like legitimately like, why are you playing this game? And I don't even know what I did with my time before that, but I ended up playing that game, and we all played that game a ton. And I mean, that game got me through nursing school. That was the game that I'd come home from school and I'd play. And the night before I took the big test to get registered with the state to be a nurse, this is a big test. It's called the NCLEX. I didn't study. I just played that game because that game was just, I played it every day, and I listened to my notes while I was just cruising. And it was fun. We'd find some loot, be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yelling at each other across the basement because we live with my grandma. It was so fun. You just find these little stat potions, like increase your defense by 1. It's nothing.
Oh,
but
man.
But
you
it was
first
still
spawned
something
them-
cool.
So much time sunk. From
Oh,
the moment we woke up to the moment we went to bed.
You guys
If we had the
played that
day
a
off,
lot.
that's all we did.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, have you guys played any of the Castlevania, like Symphony of the Night?
No.
I never really got into that genre of gaming.
It's like one of the best platform games ever. And this game I'm playing, this Bloodstained, is almost identical to that game. It's so fun. It is just hack and slash, just mindless kind of stuff, but you upgrade, get buttloads of loot and everything. Highly recommend it. All right, Ender, how about you? First game, you're just like, oh, I can't put this thing down. It's part of me now.
Well, I guess you'd say first game, I think, back to when I was a little kid, there was this Mickey Mouse game on the Super Nintendo.
Castle of Illusion?
I don't remember the name of it, honestly, but there were a lot of little puzzles. I remember one where you had to, like, in the library, be on top of the books, trying to collect something. I remember there was a blacksmith that was like that memory game where... And then in the end, you had to do that slide puzzle to make the alarm clock to wake up the giant. That was a big achievement for me because I had never gotten that far before. And I played the heck out of that game when I was younger.
Nice. Yeah, I think that kind of sounds like Castle of Illusion. I can't be certain, but...
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. It just seemed like a little fun game. Of course, I don't think I even really understood what video games were as like a thing. Just for me, it was just something to do.
Oh, nice.
I got really into Halo. I remember that.
Oh man, we went on the young men's outing this last weekend, and they were all eager to play with Brother Jacobs playing Halo, until we played the first round and it was 24 point spread between my score and the next guy. They're like, okay, maybe you shouldn't play.
Just dominating. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Showing this old guy still got it. Excuse me. All right, David, you.
Me,
Yes. Your first game.
my first game.
They're just like, this is where I have gone to die.
I'm thinking back, way back. There was this game on the computer called Mission Think. It was this silly learning game where you had to learn how to all sorts of stuff. It would teach you color combinations and 3D shapes and how to look at different things. I don't remember. It was a crazy game. That's one I was thinking of. Spelling Jungle, I think we've mentioned that on this channel before. And do you guys remember Super Smash Bros? That was another one I thought we all got into pretty heavily.
Oh
Yeah, I
And
think
I remember playing
that was
all
our
night.
second or third 64 game.
Yeah, with I spent all night with Kyle 11, spent trying to get shaving milliseconds off of our time trial for Kirby. It was insane. We were out in his treehouse playing this game, and literally the sun came up. We were still playing that game, trying to beat each other's millisecond score.
You know, beating, right? So there you go. I mean,
I think that was Melee, though.
see, I didn't have brothers, so I didn't get that fierce competition going on. But I did. We had a ColecoVision. Do you guys even know what that is?
I've heard that name, but I don't.
Oh my gosh, it was the best. So ColecoVision, it was, I think the closest thing was like a Commodore 64. But what made it so compelling and why their whole shtick was, it was arcade-like quality gaming. So like it was nothing was really ported poorly. They tried to stay true to all the. It was either totally licensed or ported really well. So anything that you can play in the arcade back in early 80s, you were getting a one-to-one kind of experience. And most people kind of compare it to how poor like the Atari Pac-Man was. Did you guys ever play that or hear about how horrible that was?
The Atari Pac-Man?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Look it up when you get home, and be like, I can't believe somebody paid to have this game made.
Oh my gosh.
It is that bad. And like, I mean, even the sound effects, like they couldn't even get the sound effects right. It's like down, down, down. I mean, it's just horrible, ear-piercing
just want the Raz.
sound. There's no wow, 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 wow.
Okay, I'll put
But
some
you
on
know,
there
when you
then.
play it on the ColecoVision, it's like, oh, okay,
Hey,
this.
did you know
this
you have
is
this
Pac-Man.
ability?
Anyway, so I had sisters, and we got Cabbage Patch Kids, and like, it was like interior designing and all this horrible stuff. But you know, it was a video game, so I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Let's play it. So I'd do whatever I could to keep my sisters playing video games with me because I love them so much.
Oh.
But we played a lot of that game, and it was like, man. But we also had like Zaxxon and all the Donkey Kongs, which are always excellent.
Yeah. What was that game you guys mentioned? Diddy Kong? I liked Donkey Kong and the Donkey Kong 2, Diddy Kong's Adventure. Do you guys remember that we were on the ship?
Oh yeah.
Is that Donkey Kong 64
Donkey
or
Kong Country
Super?
and Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yep.
I remember Donkey Kong Country 3.
Man, they all had really good
I
soundtracks.
didn't even know they had that many.
I can't remember which one, but I remember there was the one, probably one of the earliest games I can remember playing, was that one where you're either Kong or Diddy, and you're swinging, and then you end up in these barrels, and you have to shoot yourself through, and there's like secret rooms and stuff behind different plants. And then you ride in the mine carts to go get the golden animals. What's that? What's that game?
That sounds like the first one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Donkey Kong Country.
That's
So
number
what
3.
is that called?
That just sounds
Well, I think that's
Donkey Kong.
that might be just all of them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is still, I never noticed, but it's still kind of related to that original Mario Donkey Kong where he climbs the ladders. Like you're just, instead of climbing ladders, you're riding the rails.
Sure. Yeah.
Look it up.
John, can we get a fact check on that?
Rock a wiki for us there. Oh, excuse me. All right.
All right, what's
So,
next?
I've got these cards over here, just because they're fun, and they are good getting to know you kind of cards. Because I mean, David and I have known each other for a decade or so, but when we get new guests on here, it's fun to hear some of these things and get insights. All right. So the first question here is, actually to the chat here, Chloe says you guys are eating that up, high key.
I don't know what that means, Chloe. Can you say it again?
Can we get the guest on the show? Can someone connect to line 3?
We'll go to the phones. Caller.
Well, to be fair, I've been making comments to the camera, so
Yeah, don't forget you are mic'd, so if you whisper to each other, everyone hears it at the same volume, regardless of
This is
you're
true.
the primary talker.
You can hear
in the room.
everything you say.
You gotta spray that guy with water.
I know, but that's not what my viewers want to see. They don't want to see me kill these guys. They want to see me take care of them and let them have a little bite. You know.
Honestly, I've
They're
never
hungry.
seen that game before, so I'm like,
You
turning
never
around
seen
like, what are you doing over there? What
Oh,
is
I
this
really like
game?
that one.
This was one
So
of the
fun.
first games that my wife actually started playing with me. We played it for a little while, and of course I got disinterested before she did, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as good as David. So
Cassandra, you watching that game? Let me know if you're
I never,
interested.
you guys never did give me the link to send to my wife.
Oh, I just shared it to our family chat.
Oh, there you go.
She's probably taking a nap, bless her heart.
What is that game you're
Chloe
playing, Jay?
says they're eating that up high key.
Eating
Slime
that up.
Rancher.
Oh, that's Slime Rancher. Okay.
Oh, you guys are watching me?
He just asked you.
Yeah, I can see you all over here.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you flip off the camera, you're just flipping
I
off
didn't
Nick.
flip off the camera.
That's just hurtful. What that is. 'Cause I know it's just for me.
I can't believe we had known each other for a decade. That is
That's
accurate.
crazy, isn't it? Goes so far back. All right, so here's the first question. Would you rather be the best player on the worst team or the worst player on the best team?
I don't like being the worst player on the best team. I always feel like I let them down.
Really? I'm like, hell yeah, guys. Let me get you some water.
You guys look thirsty. Let me take care of that
You know,
situation.
I've always,
Bobby Boucher.
I'm totally fine playing support. You know, there was this great Call of Duty 3, and it's when they still had classes. And one of the best classes I love to play was the medic. I'll take care of you guys. I don't care.
Sure. Medic can actually be pretty dang fun, actually.
Right, and that's how I would think about being the lowest person on the best team. You know.
Especially if you're not like super, Twitch gamer and you're
Gotta save the chickens.
on all these really sweaty matches, you can still be
save the
contributing to the team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that a lot playing like Battlefield and, what other games have medics? Dave the Medic, my favorite game.
Realm of the Mad God has a medic.
Medic.
Priest.
Priest, yeah.
Priest, there you go,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like a
Nothing
in
wrong with
general
support.
class.
Yeah. You can cast spells, you can
Team
buff
Fortress
people.
2.
Oh, yeah. God, I love Team Fortress 2.
Oh yeah, I love playing medic.
I love when you play Realm of the Mad God and there was a priest in the room that wasn't healing you. Everyone was just like attacking him. Like, what are you doing? Heals, why play priest? Heals,
Do
please.
something!
That game was always a rip.
Rip, yeah.
It was a permanent game. It's
Permadeath.
super rare loot. Like,
Yeah.
there's loot, like, you still might not get it after years and years of playing. And then you die
sounds
and
like
you
destiny.
lose everything.
You lose everything.
Yeah, that was a rough game.
Like, I remember my heart would be racing. We'd be like running through the end of the shatters, or well, it'd be probably just like a pixel dungeon, but
Well, you get killed by something bogus, and then you're just so disgusted. You're like, this was just not fair. I put so many hours into this, and just to lose it to that is just...
heartbreaking.
Which is why we downloaded
I still
Hacks.
remember when you lost your Huntress to the Pixel Queen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of
Sprite
too.
God. Yeah.
I hate it when
I was
that
just like, I'm taking a break for today.
I'm done. That's of course, and then when the servers are down for 2 weeks, we're just like,
Waiting for the hack client to get back up again.
yeah,
twiddling those thumbs.
yeah, that was a fun one.
Not in this day and age. There's always something to play. I mean, you guys all like PlayStation subscribers or Nintendo or Xbox, whatever you guys played. I mean, there's free games like literally every month, and you just try it out. My son's been playing a Goat Simulator because it was free, and now he loves being a goat.
You're streaming, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Your mom just texted us what you were streaming. But you
Well, we are.
were okay. I'll tell her you're there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, so I've been on both sides of this. You know, I've been the worst and the best at the same time.
Yeah. I was gonna say the other one's just my life. So
The best one, right? Yeah, always.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
There we
I played
go.
baseball growing up, and I get it. You know, when I first started, I was right field. I was just
get that.
terrible. And any ball that was hit to me, I was just like, oh, crap, here it comes. And then it literally took like one time. I just did the whole sandlot thing, and the ball just goes right in my glove, basically, you know. Everyone's freaking out. They're like, oh, he did it. He caught the ball. And I'm just like, holy crap, I did it. I caught the ball. And it just took that little bit of confidence to be like, okay, maybe I could do this, you know. And, sorry. I don't know. It just takes that little bit of confidence. But also, if you really don't like the game, you're never going to really care if you're that good at it or not, you know.
Yeah.
But then you just kind of do it for fun and for the sake of being with friends and yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, I actually wrote this whole article on Medium about participation trophies.
oh really?
And it was a little controversial amongst family and friends because some of them think they're super great and I think they're kind of terrible, and they put false pretenses and ruin it for the kids who really deserve to earn one, you know. And I've been on both sides of that. I mean, that's what the whole story is about. Was we won second place in the baseball championships just because we had a terrible player who literally ruined the game for us, and we were like, man, that really sucks. But it's not like we went and lynched him or beat him up or anything, you know. He was just the weakest link, and having been there myself, I kind of had a soft place in my heart for him, but also it's like kind of sucked at the same time watching the first place guys walk off with their massive trophies, you know. And I'm like, oh, that could have been me if it weren't for this weak link.
Yeah.
But I loved my second place trophy. You know, it's like I earned that trophy, and that is mine. And it came with
Okay.
heartbreak, but it also came with a lot of hard work. And it's just second place, but that's still pretty cool. So anyway, it's a big long article. Go look it up. It's called the Participation Trophy in the Fall of Modern Society.
Like a dork.
It's a little melodramatic, you know, but I thought it was a good, catchy title.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I have this nephew-in-law. I think he is. Yeah, he's a nephew-in-law. And I just told him the title of it, and he's like, "I take offense to that." I'm like, "Oh, really? Why?" He's like, "I don't want to tell you. I just do." I'm like,
Oh man.
"Okay, I find offense to your face." I'm like, what a stupid thing to say. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Not trying to get anything out of it. Just wanted to let you know.
exactly. Just want to let you know I really hate you right now, and I'm not going to tell you why.
I got a
Oh,
participation
man.
trophy.
Oh yeah, we've all got him before.
Well,
I'm trying to remember if we
I
even
think
placed.
some of us, I mean, I speak for myself, but I was one of those kids that I wasn't going to get a trophy if it wasn't for the participation trophy. So I was very thankful for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my participation trophies. This is above my mantle today.
And you know what? That is okay too. And that's really what the article says. Just like, you know, it gives pros and cons. My actual nephew, he was really into it. He coaches soccer for Little League, and he's just like, yeah, same thing. Some of these kids will literally never see another trophy in their life if it weren't for this, you know, participation trophy. And I'm like, yeah, but the people who won first place and actually did really well got the same trophy. So in their point, it doesn't mean anything to them. You know, it's like you earned nothing. So
Is that what they do? They give. I thought first place would still get a trophy.
no, most especially youth sports, really little kids and kind of stuff. Everybody gets something, but they kind of stick around just too long. I mean, there were I was looking into some of the research and stuff that up to like 14, 15-year-old or like pony leagues are still getting participation trophies. I'm like, as a 15-year-old, would I care if I had a participation trophy? I could get it when I was 7. Like, oh, cool, check this out, it's gold. But
I have some friends that have always been very into sports. Competitively, they became coaches when they became, late 20s and 30s, and still to this day, they take it very seriously, even for their kids. They want their kids to learn this competitiveness, and they want them to be good at the sport. And I mean, I didn't grow up in that environment at all. My parents didn't care if I did sports. I never was interested in doing sports, but there wasn't a lot of activities that were interesting.
Yeah.
Until video games. I mean, video games have kind of become a commonplace thing,
oh yeah,
whereas before it probably wasn't.
I mean, it's harder to find someone who doesn't play video games or has never played a video game today than it used to be. The other way around.
Yeah.
No, it's so true. Cool. I hate it when you're actually playing a really easy part of a game and you're still getting smacked around. It's like I should not be getting touched.
Right? I kept failing this game because my guy would not jump at the end of the log. It was driving me insane.
That game can be a little maddening though, because you get that weird little. I feel like there's a delay to the jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like really split second, and I guess it's supposed to make you feel like an awkward kid, but it kind of the game demands preciseness.
And it has that trophy. Speaking of trophies, I am a trophy hunter on PlayStation, and one of them is to play the entire game once without dying. And I just think it's so buggy that
Yeah.
I don't think I would put in the time to learn the game well enough to do that.
That'd be really, really difficult.
Need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, seriously. All right, I like this next question.
Okay.
And we know your dad has passed away, but this one is, what was your dad best at? I think this is a great question for all three of you guys, because you might have totally different questions or answers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about my dad a lot lately, and I think, he never stopped trying to take care of his kids and provide a life. He struggled at all kinds of corners and never really made a lot of money. Never had a career that I think he was most proud of being a truck driver. But we only did that for a couple of years, but it was a lot of fun. And
Who do you drive for?
Dick Simon.
Oh, yeah.
We actually got some really memorable photos, of him sitting outside those unusual trucks. And I remember going on road trips with him, and I remember going on road trips with my siblings. I think he only was a driver for a couple of years, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember going. That was what I was going to say too, was being a truck driver. But he was also a really good cook. He went and got some culinary certificate at some point too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he did. He worked for that. I always think of it as a Toucan Sam.
No, he worked for the Little America Hotel
Oh.
for a little while.
No kidding.
Of course, he had a lot of jobs.
Yeah,
He did have a lot of
He-
jobs.
And, I don't know. I remember having a lot of good times, and I'm impressed that my parents kept working and kept trying so hard all the time. Which is not a perspective I've ever had before when I was younger. I didn't really have to think about, all the complexities of life when you're at a young age. Like even now, like I'm 38, but I feel like I can't imagine having 6 kids right now and trying to wrangle them. And our older brother
You
Chris
have
is
7
just
kids.
he's killing it. I have 7 kids. Yeah,
Wait a minute.
but I can come home and I can ignore them, and you can't do that to kids. My cats will literally be pawing at my face And then they'll come over and they'll sit right on my controller and they're like, okay, it's time to put your phone down and pet me. And I love it. And I usually do. I'll put my phone down and I'll just pet my cats for 15, 20 minutes until they fall asleep. That was a little off topic from the dad thing.
Okay, so what was the question again?
What was your dad best at?
The best at.
The best.
And did you answer this already?
What I did say is cooking. I mentioned his cooking
Yeah.
because I was going to talk about Dad being a truck driver. And then James, of course, mentioned that too.
Well,
That's the perk of speaking first.
I would say, you know, within the family, penmanship,
He had gorgeous handwriting, huh?
he was very proud of it too. So,
And he practiced at it. He had good calligraphy, actually. It was impressive, especially I can't write for crap.
Yeah, mine's horrendous. And I'm an artist, but
so,
don't put a pen in my hand if you want to read anything.
and probably quoting LDS people. I don't know. He read a lot of those LDS books. So,
Yeah, he did. It was always
Mom always said he knew all the scriptures or something. He could always call them out for her.
He was what do they call him? Just a scribe, or not a scribe. That's one who writes. A scholar and a gentleman. Whoa, dying.
Yeah.
That's cool. So my dad, he's really good at saying dumb stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
No,
that
he's
sounds
actually he can be a treasure trove of knowledge, but he likes to be goofy and kind of silly. So sometimes, you know, it's always kind of backhanded with a joke or something. But sometimes I'll have these just genius things. It's like, you know, you have lived a long life, and you do have these little gems of strokes of genius that we don't see too often because he's usually trying to mask it with comedy or, you know, trying hard to get out of doing work and helping his children with stuff. But he always ends up doing it because he's actually really talented. He was or still is really, but semi-retired general contractor. So he's really good at building stuff and fixing stuff and improving stuff. So he's actually done most of the stuff in our house. Excuse me. I'm smacking my microphone too. But yeah, so he's got a good eye for art and humor, whether it's appropriate or not. And I just walked right into a boss fight that I was not ready for.
Go get him.
I mean, I was thinking if we wanted to continue this topic, we do have a stepdad.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right. Tell us about your
father-in-laws.
stepdad. Smack.
Yeah,
Oh, I
what a
don't know
guy,
that one.
Charles. I mean, for my mom to find such a great, husband that just kind of jumped in and, I mean, I was grown up and moved out. I think I was living somewhere else even when they got married, but Charles has just been a great dad for the family. Even though I don't call him dad, I think of him as a dad.
Mm-hmm. How long have they been married?
300 years.
300 years.
Let's say I was 16.
I think it was 2001.
What?
Not 100%.
Been that long, really?
No, our parents got separated 2001.
Was it?
No.
Yeah, because I was like 4th grade. I'm pretty sure 5th, 6th grade they got separated, divorced.
Okay.
Those places to put those.
Mom was single for a few years.
She dated a couple of guys. We should talk about mom's ex-boyfriends.
There was this
Greasy
guy who
lips
had
on.
he did carpet cleaning. He drove a truck to people's houses and did carpet cleaning. Anyway, I don't remember why. We were driving by with him, and he's driving by this cemetery, and I just heard this great joke. And I said, "You see that place? I heard they're dying to get in there. Well, what I had missed is he had just told my mom that that's where his son was buried.
Oh, jeez.
And he says, classy, David. Real classy.
Oh, jeez.
I still feel bad about that one.
Hey, yeah, you were young, right? So.
Yeah, he knew it, obviously. He just, can you imagine dating and dealing with teenagers? That's got to be hard in itself.
Oh, I was the
wasn't
worst.
dating that guy.
Who?
That guy.
Who was he?
You remember that guy?
Yeah, Ken Cleans.
How do you remember him?
I used to run those flyers for him with you.
Oh, that's right, we did.
I was in the car when you told that joke.
I don't have the greatest memory.
No, that's all right. But no, Mom wasn't dating that guy. No way. That guy was whack.
Yeah, wasn't he also into fly fishing? He made fishing flies.
That sounds right.
I have some old fly fishing rods that Mom got from somewhere, but I think those are actually great grandpa's. Great grandpa's.
You think so?
Yeah. Either that or who knows where I got them.
Old Magna House. Actually, we drove by that old Magna House.
Oh, is it still up?
Yeah, it's all right. It's nice. No? It's nice.
It was nice then. I
I
cannot
thought they
believe they sold that
destroyed it.
house. I was like, are you guys kidding me? With that sweet, sweet garage they got back there?
Yeah. Nice big garage.
I used to ride my motorcycle in the backyard. It was a lot of fun.
Well, there's a donut shop right downtown Magna, and Tiffany wanted to go, so I was like, hey, wait a minute. That house is like right here on the corner.
Huh.
Kind of weird.
Was your dad/parents, were you guys like outdoorsy people? Did they like to go camping and do outdoor stuff? Or
Oh boy.
It's too soon to talk about our camping trips.
and it's been 23 years.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Well, our dad was a trucker, so I don't remember going camping with him. But just every time Mom tried to take us camping, the car broke down.
Yeah.
Every time. We got abandoned at Grantsville more times than I could count.
Locked the keys in the car one time.
I still won't go to Flaming Gorge. We tried 3 times. Couldn't make it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't remember much of those.
You guys remember ever going fishing?
Yeah, I remember going fishing in a pond one time when it was cold.
We'd
Yeah.
go fishing all the time, but we could never catch fish. We'd go with some of the neighbors. They'd be like, oh, I can catch fish. I catch fish all the time. They'd take our family catching. Nobody catches anything.
Dude, I was cursed for a long time, yeah. We'd go scout camping. Everyone would be like, oh yeah, you're going to catch a fish. You be catch a fish. We went night fishing at Utah Lake once, which apparently you really should be able to catch a fish then. Nothing. Nobody in the entire team got anything. It was bad.
Get nothing.
But you know who did catch fish with me? Grandpa Dennison.
Oh, really?
Great grandpa, yeah.
Ah, that's the curse.
You know, and then I got to watch him beat a fish's head against a rock, which was not traumatizing at all.
Yeah.
No, it's totally fine.
Anyway.
No, we were not really I was not raised by an outdoorsman. We went fishing with oars and paddles and would just beat the fish to death as they spawned.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, it was like spawning season at the Green River, and we didn't. My dad wasn't a big fisherman. I think we had a fishing pole, but we certainly did not have it with us. And we literally just got out of the boat and just started smacking fish with the oars and got a couple fish.
Wow.
I don't think you need a fishing license if you just go to battle with them.
I don't think that's legal. You might have to delete this episode.
Cut that.
Yeah, it's all good. See, when the game warden comes, he's like, "Are you going fishing?" We're like,
No.
got in a fight. Yep, it's all a different story. Oh man.
One time, we were big into scouts though, and
Yeah.
me and Ender had already said we would go to this camp out, and then, but our grandpa had died, great grandpa Loosely, I believe it was, and so we went to the camp out instead of going to his funeral, And for those of you who are LDS, you might know the name President Monson. Anyway, he was there
Sounds vaguely familiar.
at that funeral, so I feel like I kind of missed out on missing President Monson. But I'm not a member anymore, so, you know, not a big loss for me.
Well, President Monson was more than just a
Sure.
Pretty face.
religious. He had
Oh.
family ties to us. I mean, he went to our great grandpa's funeral. He was the one that sealed Mom and Dad.
He's also the one that gave him permission to get celestially divorced, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to get first presidency.
Yeah, I knew that. I
Yeah,
didn't know that he was the one
authorization
that's...
for a
So
temple.
because he was in the first, so he wasn't the first presidency when they got married, but then he was when they wanted to get divorced, and so he got to sign both. Isn't that so cool? Wow, full circle.
He's like, I remember these names. Wait a minute.
That's hilarious.
My
I
wife-
didn't think about that. I didn't. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I have a topic here? My cat Ruby, my wife's at home listening, and my cat Ruby's there listening, and she keeps coming over to the phone. So I wanted to talk about pets today.
Let's
Besides
do it.
games, but
Okay.
she's just the most adorable little thing. And I wonder if she's gonna think about me, like what is her dad best at?
Oh, there you go.
Chin scratches.
Changes my litter box so well. Lets me scratch his face.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I also have a dog named Ruby, and she's just the cutest thing. And
You both named your dogs, your animals, the same thing. All right, who had
Technically, I
Ruby
had-
first?
I think I had my Ruby first.
Actually, one of my dearest friends, his daughter is named Ruby. And
Oh.
it didn't register when Christina brought up the name Ruby. It's just as soon as she said Ruby, I was like, yes, that's the name. Of course her name is Ruby. She's a princess. I don't know who was actually first, but, you know, people don't always like when you mention that their cat or their child has the same name as your pet. But
Not generally.
my friend's pretty tolerant. He
But our-
understands that we love him.
Our youngest child's name is Bingo or Bingham, so you know we get that a lot too. Oh, is Bingo your dog? No. Shut up.
That's sad.
Bingham. He's adorable. So shut it.
Well, what else did you want to talk about pets?
Oh, I don't know.
We can keep talking about.
I just got
pets.
distracted because I miss him.
Oh,
What was your first pet?
Oh, Christina. Sorry, we've got a caller. Christina confirmed. David was the one. He named his dog Ruby first. So,
thank you.
someone want to get that coin out? Do we have that coin? Sorry.
Oh yay!
But what was the other question?
Yeah.
Your first pet.
Oh yeah, well, what came to mind was Rusty, the family dog. Was probably mine, and I remember laying my head on his torso. He was a bigger dog, and yeah, I could lay on him, and he did not care. He was super smelly, though. There was probably something wrong with that dog.
He might have been gangrenous. Parts
Second,
falling off.
I know, right? He was
I was thinking about Rusty today, and I'm like, man, we never gave that dog enough credit. And he was kind of like our seventh sibling.
yeah, he was a good dog.
He was a big dog. He was always in our lives, following Dad around.
And then we had a bunch of cats. I think technically my first cat was Dad's cat, Sheba. But, you know, not really my cat.
It was
Sheba.
a cat.
Do you guys remember that one?
I definitely know the name, and I remember having a cat named Sheba, but I couldn't pick her. Unless I saw a picture, maybe.
It was just a black cat. Yours was Smokey, the gray
Yeah,
cat.
Smokey Pokey. I feel bad about that sometimes, actually. He passed away when I was up in Montana, and
Oh,
you know, like
okay.
now, like
Not because of something you did. You're like,
No.
oh, yeah, I feel bad about that animal.
it's just I love my
What did you
cats so
do?
much now. I think about it. I'm like, man, I don't even. Me and Christina don't take vacations because we don't want to leave our cats alone at home at night, and it's not something that we would even consider doing sometimes because when Christina was gone for 3 days, Lulu was having a meltdown. She was scratching at the door every single night, just meowing because she always sleeps next to Christina.
Huh.
But my cats, I'd push them off the bed when I was a kid because they were annoying. Yeah. We had too many pets.
2
Yeah.
dogs, 4 cats, as long as I can basically remember.
They were fun, but they were a lot.
My mom still has 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah.
Do they all get along pretty well?
Yeah.
Most animals do, really.
Yeah. I don't have any pets. But I do pet my mom's dogs a lot.
We've, my sisters and I, we've all been allergic pretty much our whole lives. My youngest sister's not. She could rub her face on a dog and be fine, but my older sister and my sister just under me, yeah, we just know there's a cat in the city and we start getting itchy. Watery eyes and general sadness all around.
Yeah. Luckily, I've never had any allergies to anything.
Yeah, I don't have any allergies either. Got real lucky. Some might even say blessed.
Sure.
No one in our family has allergies. I always think of people that have allergies. I'm like, are you making this up? Your body's attacking your own body. I made Christina give me official paperwork saying she had allergies. When I first met her, I was like,
Thank God. Like, I
show me
want
the
proof.
paperwork.
My problem is mostly asthma, but yeah, my eyes get all itchy, they get all puffy.
And
Oh,
now
it's just
our
the
one
worst.
sister, she cures allergies. So
Yeah, she was on the show telling us all about it. I'm like, I kind of just want to try this and see, even if it doesn't like straight up cure me, let's say, even if it could just lessen
yeah,
things, would be pretty awesome.
she says that depending on the allergy, it might take a session or 2. But she acted like the first time I was talking to her about it, she's like, allergy? Yeah, we could do that, but it's going to take more time. Like, because she was trying to get people in to do like practice sessions, and I'm like, well, what about your allergy thing? She's like, it's so quick. We need to fill 40 minutes, so you better have other issues that we can deal with.
I've got so many issues.
I got so many issues.
That's all right. Everybody's got issues.
All right, next question. I'm ready.
All right. So that was all based off of what your dad's best at. See, these spur a lot of good conversation. That's why they're fun. All right. With
Wait,
animals.
let me say one more thing about my dad. Do you mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Well-
no, I do not mind. Yes, please. Yes, I do.
Just before we get off this quick topic, I wanted to say that what I think my dad thinks he was best at, or at least one of the things he was most proud of, is his violin skills. For me, I feel like that would be something that he would be like, oh, something interesting about me is when I was a kid, I really felt like I was really good at playing the violin. Their whole family is very musical. Like his brother, I mean, he invents stuff. Uncle Dale.
I mean, he's like what, the
Yeah,
armies or something, repair for instruments?
I mean, if the president needed someone to tune his guitar and he had to pick like the best, like he would probably pick our Uncle Dale. Like he's that good. But they're all talented, and Dad was going to be the violin.
Ah.
But
Of the
he got
Jackson 5?
embarrassed.
Yeah, but someone made fun of him. That's why you never make fun of someone.
Seriously.
Sorry.
Oh, that's sad.
Next question.
I would never make fun of somebody. That's kind of all I do. I just constantly make fun of people. But it's usually behind their back, so they never know. Excuse me.
That's the nice way to do it.
Yeah. If
No,
you're
I
gonna
make fun of people to
someone,
their face.
You better make sure they don't know.
I do it right to their face, but I laugh and try to laugh with them and say, let me point out your flaws and we'll laugh at them together. I know, I can be a little brat. All right, so animals. Which animal are you most scared of? David, go.
Rats.
Why rats?
Well, I read this book and it had this form of torture including rats, and I think it made me afraid of rats because I used to not be afraid of rats. I used to have pets rats. But you know, I don't want to say too much in case someone tries to torture me in the future and uses this episode as proof of.
That's what I love about you, David. You're always keeping us safe.
But if you're familiar with, there's this guy Dritz Durden, the Dark Elf trilogy. If you've read those books, it's described in detail in one of those books.
The rats?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it seems silly to be afraid of any animal because I don't really interact with animals.
All right.
But man, I got Myces were freaking me out for a while. I think I'm mostly over that because I picked one up by its cute little belly recently.
Have you seen any of the Plague Tale games?
Is that the mouse with the little sword?
It doesn't quite sound like a happy game, like you're describing. No, it's all about the bubonic plague and people being killed in France by horrible swarms of rats.
No.
It's actually it's a two-part game or two-part series, and they are actually really, really good. And you can actually end up controlling the rats to devour people, and you have to like throw down torches and make these like little stealth missions so the rats can't get to you, and it's actually quite unnerving. But it's very cool how they do all the little rat hordes coming at you, and you gotta, they're just, it gives you the creeps so much.
Rats they can do some damage, people. Okay, don't write them off. Okay?
Oh yeah, they can be pretty nasty.
But
all
I'm
right.
interested to hear other answers.
Ender, what are you afraid of?
I'm gonna say snakes.
It had to be snakes.
Yeah, I think it's not really so much like snakes themselves is kind of scary, but I think they're sneaky, and suddenly there could be a snake nearby, and that's very frightening. Yeah, like David said, I wouldn't really interact with any animals. I wouldn't really be afraid of them. It's like a bear would be terrifying, but he would be huge, and I'd see him coming. But if suddenly there was a snake, which could happen, that's why I think they're scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is why these questions are like, describe the scenario. I'm suddenly in a 20-foot by 20-foot room with this animal.
Let's just say, yeah, someone walks in with said animal right now. What would make you be like, ugh, I don't know about that?
Oh, if someone walked into it, there isn't an animal I would be afraid of. Not in the whole world.
Not even a giant tarantula.
Nope, I've had that.
What about a black widow spider?
I used to breed them.
I've seen David
Used
pick
to
up
breed
a
black widow spiders. What? Come again? That's not something you just say passing fancy. Oh yeah, I used to breed those. So that was great.
I mean, it's a bit exaggerated. I found an egg nest. I knew it was black widows. I put it in a jar until I had a jar full of black widows. And it was kind of cool. And then I released them outside so they could live their lives.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because in that scenario, the animal's already contained because you know it's being handled by another individual. So why would I be afraid of a domesticated animal?
Oh man.
That's a good point.
All right.
Maybe dog. Dogs.
Yeah,
An
dogs.
uncontrollable, quote-unquote domesticated dog, they will literally eat you alive, and it's terrifying.
They come up on you quicker than you think. They're just crazy. Dogs come out of nowhere.
This is true.
Tigers.
I was going to say, you guys ever seen a lion?
Well, we're going to the zoo tomorrow, so
I'll tell you, my cats love me to death, but they can tear me up if they're in a bad mood.
That's true. Every time I go
So I'm
over
going to
there,
pick cat.
you're most scared of
Terrifying cats. You know, I mean, most animals that can kill me will just kill me. A cat would just slowly kill me. So if it was just like crawling over my head gently and just like pawing at my ear, and then my mouth closes up and my lungs shrivel up and then my eyes pop out from itchiness. Yeah, that's probably the most terrifying way I can imagine dying. So let's just say a house cat. I am actually, I'm kind of terrified and fascinated by spiders all at the same time. So like, I mean, if I see one, yeah, I'll be the first one to jump up and grab a shoe and kill it. And like a tarantula doesn't really scare me because it's the same kind of idea. It's like really big. It's like I see it. It's right there. I know where the tarantula is. It's like those medium-sized ones that are wiry, super fast, and when it's out of your sight, you're like, oh crap, where is it? And then you get that severe panic. That's the worst. Most big animals. There is a dog. I will shut the door. The dog cannot get me. The spider's like, it's going to get me no matter where I go. And it's going to end up in my ear, in my mouth. It's going to lay eggs in my brain.
Yeah, I used to be
Wake up
really
with
scared
egg
of
sacs.
earwigs. You hear this rumor that they crawl into your ear. That sounds terrifying.
No, they
And then I
come from
read
ear
Animorphs.
corn.
Did you guys read Animorphs?
Animorphs, yes.
They have those slugs
Those
that put into
books?
your body that take control of your body. That's like the whole thing.
Oh, it is?
Spoilers. Yeah, the Animorphs are at war against this slug community that gets inside your brain and takes control of your body. So you don't know who's actually part of their team.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
So yeah, put me down for slugs that take control of your body.
I think they're in very rare, remote parts of Scandinavia, so you're probably fine. Just don't go to Scandinavia.
Yeah, there's a lot of terrifying animals out there, but
I forgot how
gotta
this whole
really-
thing works.
bears too. You could be. That's pretty scary. I'll be out there. That's why I stay inside playing video games.
Yeah, no bears inside.
Yeah, it's surprising that we even made it past evolution with bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think they'd just be right there at the top of the food chain, but no, some reason mankind is. But that only counts when you put a spear in his hand. Take that spear away, we go down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What kind of animal are you most scared of? Man.
Man. Well,
It's the most dangerous game.
they're the scariest part of like any zombie apocalypse movie, right?
That's true.
It's not the zombies, it's the freaky deaky people.
Yeah. That Supernatural episode too was pretty scary.
We did like that show. And then just overstayed its welcome after like season 18. You're just like,
yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah, I
this
didn't
show
make
is
it past
still
season
on.
8.
I can't remember where it is. It has like 5 or 6 different good endings, and it still, it didn't end on a good one.
Yeah.
But I will watch it again.
Yeah.
Watching it right now.
Are you really?
I'm watching it right now.
over.
Pull up my phone.
I'm not even listening to a thing you guys said. Go Supernatural.
I got it on DVD.
Shoot, guys, I don't know what to do with this bird.
I can't figure
Okay.
out how to open up these doors.
What's the next?
All right,
Hopefully
moving on.
not a less dark question. 'Cause
When was your last murder? Well, that's funny you say that because it says, what's your favorite part of Halloween?
okay, yeah, that's actually really fun.
Yeah.
I love Halloween.
We just had it, so it's, timely. Let's say other than the candy, because we love stealing our children's candy. But there still comes to that point, you're like, I can't have any more candy. I'm going to vomit. So the candy's obviously good, but it overstays its welcome pretty quickly. But all right, David, so what is your favorite? Actually, let's start with James this time. James, what's your favorite part of Halloween?
That's
Or
private.
maybe you just kind of hate it. That's okay too. That's right. I don't want to tell you about this.
You know what I like about Halloween is that anyone can celebrate it. Anyone can enjoy the holiday. There's no expectations of gifts. There's kind of an expectation for candy, but just getting clogged up by all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's an expectation of just participation of some sort, right? You're either giving or getting.
And I actually really like scary movies, and I sometimes like to watch them on Halloween. But when we were kids, it was always a lot of fun. It was an activity we looked forward to every year. It was like you would plan on spending Halloween with your friends, and Christmas and Thanksgiving were with family. And the candy corn. That was my favorite candy when I was a kid.
Candy corn was your favorite candy?
I think mom and dad were getting ready for stocking or Santa. Whatever happened, they asked all of us kids what our favorite candy was, and we all got a bag of it on Christmas. And I didn't really know that many names of candy, so I said candy corn.
What's your favorite candy? Candy,
Sprouts.
There's a can of corn on the ground. I got candy corn for 10 more years.
Not that it's a trash candy or anything, but
I still like them. I don't usually eat them.
Yeah, they're okay.
If someone's got a bowl of them, I'm not going to have one.
I actually got there were so many extra bags at every. I think it was Smith's. I was going. I got a bag for $1. I'm like, you know what? This is worth $1. So after Halloween's over, I bought a bag of candy corn.
Oh, candy corn.
But my favorite part of Halloween, to get us back on track, I love the decorations. I love driving through people's neighborhoods and seeing all the fun decorations that people got up. Because like James said, I do love that it is kind of for everyone. Anybody can throw up any kind of stuff they want in their front yard, and it's Halloween related, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the different... People do the different things with the skeletons these days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
They get bigger and bigger every year.
Burying bodies.
They're
There's
huge.
this one house I see. They have the skeletons literally climbing the house, so it looks like they're being taken over by skeletons. That's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, I that's what I love. I love all the decorations and people getting into the spirit of it.
Nice. I like just really creative costumes, you know? I mean, it's kind of easy to throw on a mask and do something, but then you can see those occasional ones. It's like, okay, that's pretty flippin' awesome. And I'm pretty sure, you know, pretty much every year there's at least that one cool thing that just kind of blows your mind. It's like, how did they do that? That is so cool. Whether you actually see it in person or just, you know, online or whatever. But there's at least every year I see something new that somebody's come up with that just like, how did they think of that? How many times did they, you know, trial and error or something like that? And it's nothing against anime, okay, but I'm really tired of anime costumes. It seems like the most easiest cop out is just like throw on a colored wig, put some eye shadow on, and then grab just some kind of weird random spatula or a giant sword or something. Be like, I'm, you know, whoever from whatever show. It's like, all right, that's fine. Whatever.
How many anime costumes are you seeing?
Oh, man. Well, I've got, you know, a kid in elementary school still. This year, actually, is kind of cool. His school doesn't celebrate it. They give him the day off and the day after.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell
It's like
yeah.
a recovery day. I know. It was flipping awesome.
They're just like, no, we're not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah. They're just like, forget this. So it was pretty cool. We actually, you know, got to just kind of enjoy our night, which was pretty rare. But yeah, so it was interesting. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of like those tween age kids are kind of doing it and stuff. And it's like, all right, it's fine. You like anime, live it up. This might be your last Halloween. So I just saw so much this year.
Huh.
And I guess, you know, it's never going to go out of style. Anime's here to stay, so
Yeah.
live it up. If that's your thing, I won't judge.
Do you not like anime?
I have a mixed opinion. Some of it is some of the coolest, most amazing artwork and creativity, and then there's others just like the so generic, same old. It's like, oh my gosh, do we need another one of these types of shows, you know? But then occasionally there's, I mean, like Cowboy Bebop will forever be like the epitome of cool anime. I don't know if you guys even know what that is.
Yeah.
What is it?
Cowboy Bebop.
I think my sister plays that.
She plays it?
I got that joke from someone at work.
Doesn't apply.
Anime is one of those things that's just, it's done really well when it's done really well, and then there's all kinds of different, like I'll see anime comic books and movies, and I'm like, I can't tell one from the other.
Yeah,
I've seen some
yeah.
of them. Like, I think Avatar's one that's done really well. That's pretty popular. But like Attack on Titan, that's one that I never thought I'd be interested in. Even after watching a couple of seasons of it, I thought this is terrible.
That's about how far I got. Too.
Yeah, but you keep watching it because your friend that's into it really loves it. And then Sword Art Online. I that was a really fun one, and it's about video games. It isn't about basically everyone puts on this headset and then they get locked inside this video game where it's permanent death.
Spoilers. It's like the first
Well, we
episode.
the pilot. And I will now tell you the first 5 people who died.
Did you watch the second one?
I did.
Sword Art Online, but now there's guns.
Oh no, I was
Sword
thinking
Light
Sword Art.
offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into that for a little bit.
It's kind of cool. I'm with you though. Every time I see it, I'm just like, it just falls into a genre that I've never been interested in.
Yeah, and like there was one I really liked called Helsing. It was basically like the Helsing Foundation. You know, they hunt vampires and crap. But Alucard is Dracula backwards. Well, that's novel. But he's actually helping them because he sees like them all as like just like a bastardization of what he is. You know, he's like the ultimate vampire, so he hates all other vampires. So he actually helps them. And
What a traitor.
it kind of is, yeah. But it's actually it makes it for a really cool premise. And it's got some really, really cool creative stuff. And it gets fun and bizarre and, you know, just a little gory, not so obscenely gory like some of the others. Like, oh my gosh, why is there so much gore in this show?
Yeah, I'm just watching Invincible.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, should I be watching this? I feel like the FBI's going to show up on my door and be like, you shouldn't be watching this, you have mental problems.
That's the.
Otherwise,
I thought Attack on Titan had more gore than that.
Yeah, that show's can get pretty gory too, for sure.
That's the one where I was like, this might be too much for me, which is saying something.
Just saying something. Well, I mean, and you know, for most of it, it's just like it can get super pervy. I mean, I'm even just looking at this game that I'm playing right now. I mean,
Okay.
you know,
I
it's
noticed
kind
the
of
nipples. I know.
anime style, but she's got this massive chest. It's like she's ready for battle. It's like, really?
Hey, man.
I mean, is she?
Sometimes they're born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
They're putting it
maybe
in the
it's a
water, obviously. And all anime, I feel like, is pretty heavy chested.
Yeah, seriously. So it's, I don't know. There's just so much of it's like, would I be embarrassed if somebody walked in and I was watching this? Probably. And there's other stuff that's totally harmless, you know. But like anything that's Pokemon related, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. I can't handle it. And it's, you know, totally geared for a totally different crowd. But some people don't grow out of that crowd. They are there forever and they stay there, and that's fine. You know, again, you do you. I'm not gonna judge, but there's a certain time. You know, I'm sitting here playing video games, so at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm not really gonna judge. Whoa! Oh man.
I like when they put the big breasts on them. I'll say it. Just kidding.
I mean, there's a reason they keep doing it. It sells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
absolutely.
The games can't possibly be about anything, but they keep popping up on my feed when I'm looking at games on. I think there's one even on Apple Arcade right now. Calling you out, Apple.
Unbelievable.
I'm not interested in the game. Quit putting it on my feet.
Yeah, and it's like, what is this even about? It's just pictures, and it's like,
Well, I think a lot of them right now is just like AI girlfriends and chatbots, and just like for super lonely people, which is kind of sad in itself. But you know, it's like they disguise it like as a game, or I mean, I can't count how many bogus games there are out there, and so this is not even a game.
Yeah.
What is this?
Waifu collector.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's like
Genshin Impact's like
Genshin Impact. So
Oh my gosh, yes.
that was a guilty pleasure for a little bit. I'm just going to tell you, because it was crossed between like, you know, Legend of Zelda. It had a little bit of the fun RPG stuff, which I do like, but the characters again were either super hypersexualized or just like annoying beyond belief. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. So I actually stopped playing after about 4 or 5 months of playing it pretty hardcore. I mean, I got all my people leveled up, and I didn't like spend any money on it, but
I tried to get into that. I got into it for a few weeks, and then the problem with that game is it didn't have any way to like. I quit playing it, and if you quit playing that game, I have no idea how to control my guy. There was like, I need a read tutorial, please.
I did that too. I came back to it and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? How do I even do a simple attack?
Yeah.
I liked how it just everything had an element, and I liked that everything kind of had its opposite and negative effect, and there was some actual strategy to it. But then you just kind of get to this point where it's pay to win, and it's like, okay, it stopped being fun at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like some games, I mean, I like pay to win. It kind of gives me the edge on people who don't have a little extra coin to spend on the open address.
I got money. I can win.
You think you're good because you played so well? Watch me spend $10.
I like skins, but
Yes, you do.
I can admit, hopefully my account doesn't get banned, but I spent real world money on cosmetic items trading from player to player, which is highly, but I would do it all the time. I'd send them my PayPal. I think actually that's why I got PayPal. Do you remember I'd buy those skins from people?
Yeah.
Probably dupers.
Dupers, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
wait, what
Hey,
game was this?
It's a legitimate business.
Every game I ever play.
Oh shit.
Oh man, getting rocked.
Guys, this game is so unforgiving.
I've tried to play that game 2 or 3 times, and every time, first of all, I'm not good at platformers. I remember the only platformer I actually played and really enjoyed was the one that Ender got me on my, what was that system?
3DS?
Was it 3DS? And you gave it to me and it was a little present, and then I opened
Cave
it.
Story?
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah,
Cave
Cave
Story
Story
was
was
such
fun.
a fun little game.
That was a
Cave Story,
real
huh?
surprise.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've played it.
You have. You've beaten it 2 or 3 different ways.
What's this game in?
It would
That I
not
played
be. It wouldn't
For
surprise
hundreds
me.
of hours?
It was just this little obscure indie game I happened to come across on the 3DS. I just was looking for something to get, like you with your $20 on Steam. I was just like, well, what should I get? So I got this game, Cave Story, no idea what it was. It ended up being really fun and cute little story. Platforming, really hard platformer actually. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not great at platformers either.
But it kind of worked out actually because the main character has amnesia, so he doesn't know who he is either. And so it kind of plays it like, I don't know, you don't even know what's going on.
There you go. But you unravel the mystery as you play, right?
Yeah, I thought that was worth playing. I thought that was great.
Cave Story.
There you
Try
go,
it out.
bro. There's your game, Cave Story. Check it out.
All right.
Apparently,
I was going to say if you wanted a game for just to play while you're streaming, you should play Skyrim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I probably have like
That'd be
600
so
hours
mindless.
logged into that game.
You could be having a lot of fun doing that too.
I think they have the definitive version for like $6 right now, too.
You got to get ready for when they drop Elder Scrolls 6.
Well, it's not going to be on PS5 anytime soon, so it's an Xbox exclusive because, throw money at
What?
something. Yeah.
What is news to me?
They said it will eventually be on PS5, but it'll take at least a year. No, I think it said even more than that. I think it said like 3 years. It said it's exclusive to the Xbox until the first DLC comes out or something like that. It was like, oh my gosh, that could be forever.
What game is this?
way. They wouldn't sign that deal.
Oh, they did.
They really shoot themselves in the foot. They do that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
but we all know there's more PlayStation consoles. So
Exactly. That's why they had to buy it. They got to
we
give you a
need
reason to buy an
PlayStation.
Xbox.
If all of a sudden there was only Xbox, there's really no competition for it.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk about like just getting away with consoles altogether within the next, probably not the next cycle, but the cycle after that. There's like everything will be streaming, and you can just log in and play it right off your TV. I mean, I don't think we're quite there yet with internet speeds, being able to stream a 4K video, or a video game. And you also have the idea of lag and stuff, but if you even had like some kind of a hard drive and you're built into your TV, you could just buffer it. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely the technology will be there.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and then it'll just be back to who can make the better games. I mean, there's been lots of games on Xbox I've always kind of thought, oh, that'd be fun to play, but
Yeah,
and I'm
Halo.
not a PlayStation fanboy, but it's just what I've always preferred. It's been more my genre, things I've enjoyed more. But there's been another number of things on Xbox. I'm like, oh, that might be worth picking up an Xbox for.
Halo.
Yeah,
Halo was why I did that.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, that's the only game he plays is Halo, and I've been thinking, man, I wish I had an Xbox. I could jump on and do some. He only does PvP, but
I know, seriously.
it'd be fun.
And that was always more PvE.
Yeah, that's really when our group on Destiny, I feel like, kind of quit playing so much.
Well, good news is, I've been meaning to tell Nick this, but Travis has been bugging me about getting back into Destiny.
Really?
And I told
He's
him,
picked like the worst time.
I told him, we watched your video. I don't know that I would want to play it that much. But we're trying it out.
So here's my problem. I've paid for at least the full year, then the new stuff comes out, because you pay for the whole year, the expansions and season stuff through the year. I think I'll probably play the Dawning just because it's something to do during the Christmas season. I still do like the PvP. I'm a Crucible guy. I do pretty well in there most of the time. I'm usually top 1 or 2. So I'll probably get back in there a little bit through the holidays and just kind of see what else it has to offer. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'll never play it, but religiously getting in there, finishing the seasons. Yeah,
I
I'm
told
done
him
with that.
I wouldn't play it solo. It's not a game I got other games I'd rather be playing.
Yeah. But if you guys get into it, I'll definitely hop back in there with you.
Yeah, if you need help with a raid, let me know.
I'd love to do a raid. That was some of the
I-
funnest gaming times I had was playing those 6-man things. They were impossibly hard, but
Oh yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
and that was a big part of my rant. I was just like, you know what? Just turn matchmaking on everything. I don't want to have to sit there. I mean, it's like if I'm going to be with a bunch of randos through an LFG group, why can't I just do that through a matchmaking server?
Mm-hmm.
Who the crap cares?
The problem is they have that one system to you could lead a raid. Me and Travis tried that once.
Oh, the Sherpa type system?
Nobody used the mic, even though they had to agree that they would
Nope.
use the mic.
They all just sit in
They
silence.
sat there. I said, guys, I just need one other person to jump on a mic. We cannot do this part with nobody. We need
Yeah.
someone to call out
You
the things.
need to communicate.
I don't need everyone to... Nothing. Freaking nothing. I quit. I was
Crickets.
done. I'll never do a raid again. It was so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely.
I love dungeons, though. Dungeons is like peak level of difficulty. It's like raid difficulty, but 3-man. And I feel like we should have been able to get... I can't remember what they were. Something conquest points,
Oh, spoils of conquest type little token
like-
things. Yeah.
I should get that for dungeons. I don't understand why I wouldn't be able to get that for dungeons.
Oh,
So I'm
I
with you,
agree.
dude. There's a lot wrong with Destiny.
Yeah,
And it's mostly that they have their heads up their asses. So
that's really it. I mean, it's just like a handful of very simple things to implement that would make a big difference, And they just, I don't know if they just don't see it, if they're just really not as intelligent as we let them, would like to believe that they are.
Well, like you said, remember earlier you'd mentioned being like, there's one guy in your team that's tanking it for the rest of you guys, so you got second place. That's
Yeah.
how it felt with raids.
Oh,
You've been
yeah.
doing boss thing for 2 hours, and then you find out one dude's popping his super to ad clear.
Uh-huh.
What are you? Are you surreal? We've been at this for how? Yeah, I'm done
Yeah.
with raids.
Yeah.
I'm done with raids, guys.
It's like,
6 people's hard to get together.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like dungeons.
And even with the LFG group, I mean, the system is so poorly designed, most people don't even know what they're doing. It's like you get in there, you pick some names, but then you're all waiting for a guy to actually start the encounter, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And then you have to like summon your fire team, but you can back out of that, and then like you have this one little icon that even tells you that you're still in the fire team at all. It's like, oh, it's just so poorly implemented. And I mean, they, billion-dollar company just can't figure out some of the most basic user interface stuff that we've come to expect from everything. An app, a website. I mean, how many things that we use on the daily that actually have good interfaces, you know? And it's like pick up your iPhone and just look, oh, how did they do this? Exact same thing. And it might not be perfect, but it's sure a heck of a lot better than anything Bungie's given us. How many times have we moved our stupid little circle icon around for maps? And, you know, it's like, just give us some options to quick select something or a favorite.
We started with a new guy. He hadn't played Destiny before. For him to try and figure out all the menus was like impossible.
100%.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yep.
You know how long it took me to find? I've played before where I can switch characters because I had to delete my hunter because we were starting fresh. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to log into my hunter and then I'll get everything that I want to keep off of him, delete the rest. And then I'm like, all right, I know there's a way to log back out, switch characters. Where the heck is it in these 50 freaking menu pages? It's not where I thought it would be.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nope.
Sorry, what was the question?
What was your favorite part of Halloween? I hate Destiny.
Destiny has this great Halloween event.
Oh my gosh. If you heard my rant, no, that they do not. I am ready.
They got rid of the good ones and they left that same one. I cannot believe they still have that one. I've been out of it for, 2 years?
Yeah, still the stupid Festival of the Lost. Still doing the same stupid thing. They couldn't even think of like, hey, let's make this one thing different.
Well, they had that other one where you had the Forest of the Lost or something. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a cool one.
I was okay with that one.
Why did they change it? Why don't we have both?
Like alternate it. One year do one thing, the other do the other thing. I mean, just something to mix it up for me. Just kills me.
Okay. Next question. We're ready.
Well, Halloween was great.
Andrew, did you say what your favorite thing about Halloween was?
No, and rightfully so, because I don't like Halloween.
Oh boy. Here
All
we
right.
go.
How come?
Oh, because of all the spooky stuff.
You don't like the spooky stuff?
No, I don't like anything spooky. I don't like skeletons or goblins or ghouls. I don't like feeling afraid. Don't like scary movies either. Nothing like this.
Okay.
So it's kind of my favorite part of Halloween is when it's over and I can get the candy for cheap.
And then you can look forward to Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You know what? That's okay. My wife, I personally like scary stuff, but I can't remember the last game or movie I saw that I was actually scared by. Some of them are just kind of fun, and I will laugh at them, or they're kind of meant to be a little tongue-in-cheek. I like those kind, but like any slasher movie, boring, predictable. I mean, they're just so predictable. There's been a couple of standout ones the last few years. One's called Ready or Not, and it's about this girl who marries into this rich family, but she finds out very quickly that they're actually all devil worshippers, and she's the sacrifice.
Oh no.
And they play this game of hide and seek, and basically she's in this mansion trying to escape them, but she ends up kicking all their asses. And it's so good.
Right on.
Yeah, she's actually a real fighter, and it's got just the right amount of gore and suspense and humor, and I loved it. I'm like, this was a great show, because it wasn't just sitting here giving me these cheap jump scares or trying to get all psychological and scary. It was just a good, stupid, fun show that was, like a Halloween kind of show, and I loved it. I'm like, that was such a fun show.
What was it again?
Ready or Not.
Huh.
Go watch it. Watch it with your wives. It is
Ready or
so
Not.
dang good. The what? There you go.
Yeah.
Write it down. Yes. It was so good. It has Samara Weaving, Hugo Weaving's daughter, in it. And she was really great. And I loved it. And it's one that I actually kind of wanted. I keep forgetting to tell my wife about it. But then there's other ones called, it's a two-parter called Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Hilarious. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, only this girl gets murdered every day.
Oh no.
And she has to figure out how she's getting murdered and who it is and stuff. And
Oh jeez.
eventually she realizes that she has to reset the day, so she ends up having to kill herself at the end of every day. And the way she ends up doing it are just really funny and goofy, but it's like got this kind of serious undertone, but it's got this sci-fi element to it because she's got to find out why she's reliving this day. Very funny, not scary at all, but still horror slasher movie, but brilliantly done. They're so fun. Yeah, they're just a blast.
And what's that one called?
Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
You almost
That's
had
the
me
sequel.
sold on it by the end of it, so maybe I'll write it down.
They're definitely good. And as a horror fan, I mean, it's pretty rare that I'll actually watch a straight up horror film that I'm like, oh, that was actually cool. That was well done. It's mostly just cheesy and predictable and meh. But there's just still something about them. I like to watch them. What was one I just watched that I thought was pretty good? Oh, I'll have to think about it. But anyway. So, my first point was my wife hates scary stuff too. She will not watch anything scary. If it's kind of even remotely scary, she'll be on her phone, glancing up. And if it gets too scary, she's back down, scrolling Instagram. It sticks with her. It'll freak her out at night, especially if she goes to bed alone. It'll just get in her psyche too much. So it's been like that pretty much her whole marriage, and that's okay. I'm just completely desensitized to pretty much everything. So.
Yeah, our dad was big into the horror movies. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think we just tossed all of them when he passed because I don't think anybody was going to watch that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised, my favorite shows growing up were, Aliens and Dawn of the Dead. My parents just like weird stuff, and they didn't care if their kids saw it very much. Or we just sneak down and watch it with me and my sisters. And, I had two parents who worked, so sometimes it was just after school murder shows that were on VHS.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. All right. This is a good question. I got to look at you guys really quick and I'll really get this in. Okay. Do you love your hair the way it is, or would you change it?
Huh.
That's a rude question.
Huh. David, I've seen you with straight up full on afro hair. I mean, big curls. And he kind of had that mostly growing up, would you say?
Oh, yeah, he still's got great hair. Yeah.
I had straight hair until...
Straight?
Yeah.
I can't even
afro in
imagine
high
it
school.
straight.
How was that?
I hit puberty and my hair went curly.
That's private.
But it's true. That is what happened.
Yeah, I started going bald, a couple of years ago. It was no big deal at the time. And most of the time still, I don't mind. But I wish I had more hair sometimes. Yeah, it'd be fun. And I'll wear a wig every now and then. I get more laughs than compliments, but...
Okay, wig, not toupee, right?
Oh, yeah, full on.
Okay.
What?
I mean, I won't judge you if you wear a
Ever.
toupee, but they never look right.
No,
I've only
if they-
seen a handful in my life. I'm just like,
If you know it's a toupee, it's not done well.
yeah. I was in line at the food court at Sam's Club, and this old guy in front of me, he was like 90 years old,
That's your real hair.
but he had this page boy haircut wig under a ball cap, and I'm like, you are not fooling anybody with that thing. I mean, there's like not even a sliver of gray in it, it looked like a 20-year-old man's page boy haircut on a 90-year-old dude.
Oh boy.
And he was super racist and was saying all these comments about these poor two little black kids in front of us. I'm just like, oh, dude, you got nothing going for you. So I'm like, you just rock that wig, and I'm going to pretend you're not trying to talk to me and strike up a conversation.
Seriously.
But I probably would have had a better conversation with the wig. So, Anyway, all right, continue on. So you wear a wig for fun sometimes.
Yeah, for my hair. I mean, I remember having mostly curly hair in my life, and then when I turned 18, I remember having super curly, like afro hair, which I feel like all of us kind of brothers had at different times, but it was fun. It was a lot to manage. It's a lot easier to have a bald head. So
Yeah.
the perks are pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I these days I don't grow my hair out. Once it gets too long, I just shave it back down to a 2, and let it grow back out. It's just easier.
Yeah. I'm definitely for the simplicity of it too. My hair's also kind of thin and I wish it wasn't, but that's okay. My girl told me once, she said, now I will be okay if you go bald. And I was like, well, what were you going to do before? Because it was going to happen either way. It's like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. There's really nothing to be done.
There's nothing you can do. You just have to accept it. It's kind of an important time in a man's life, you know, when you have to accept that you're going bald.
Yeah.
And how old did you say you were when you started?
10.
10? You looked in the mirror and was like, oh no.
I was in my I think it was in my late 20s I really started to thin out, and it just exponentially increased from 32 on. And now this is the most hair I can grow right now. And it's pretty thin. But you know what? I used to have this thought that my hair looks just terrible, it's just time to shave it. And that's what I went with, and that's what I preached. And now I kind of feel bad. I'm like, you know what? Wear the hair you got.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it look terrible. If you like it, wear it.
100%. And I mean, the fact that you have the beard coming in, it looks really good. You know, I can't grow a beard worth anything. So, but my problem is I have shaved my head before, and I have like this weird, perfectly round, like Uncle Fester kind of head. So it's like, even if I tried to grow a beard out, it would just always look weird. So I'm so glad I've got good hair. I'm just going to embrace it and hope it lasts.
One or the other.
And if you take care of it, it should last.
I've known a few guys who, you know, they rock the shaved head, and I'm just like, you know, it's not really working for you. But I agree. You know, if you got it, you like it, rock the head you have, right?
Well, if you see him like that next time, just try to imagine him with a bad toupee and decide which one you can use.
Yeah, there you go. The page boy toupee under a baseball cap.
I feel like I don't really see toupees anymore.
Yeah,
It's
bald
been a long
became
time.
fashionable, I feel like. So you see less of that, I think.
Thank you, Vin Diesel. Thank you, The Rock.
there you go. Oh, man. This weapon was an idea. Now it's not doing very well. There we go.
Dang it.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry if all my followers are blocking up the channels.
Jeez, man. I can't take the bandwidth. All right. Well, that was a fun question. All right. Oh, my goodness. We only have 7 minutes left. This night is blasting by.
Oh, is it almost 8 o'clock already?
Almost 9 o'clock.
It's 9. Is that why I'm
9
so
o'clock.
tired?
Oh, man.
Do you usually go to bed pretty early?
Yeah. Try and
You got
get
early mornings?
Early mornings. The earlier you get in, the earlier you get done. Then you get to go home.
There you go.
Depends on how much fun I'm having playing video games or hanging out.
Who you calling?
I'm calling Ogden Ortiz. He always wants me to sell him fruits.
Oh.
He's making some juice or something, and then he gives me these plorts. But he's trying to rip me off usually.
What a prick.
But today he wants some useless fruit, and he's going to give me some useless plorts and barely any money.
Plorts?
It's the currency of the game. It's these slimes. They drop these. And did anyone go to elementary school and know what shape that is there? Polyhydric
A rhombus?
rhombus. Yeah.
Rhombus?
It looks like a 10-sided die.
Yeah. So these diamond-shaped
Like a
things are
dodecahedron?
what they use for money. So you feed your
That's
slime,
21 size.
and then your slime will squeeze out through its skin a little plort. It's worth different money, and the market
Sounds
fluctuates,
painful.
and you get to sell and buy and sell and buy and use them for stuff.
Nice.
Actually, you can't buy them. So
Are you on a Switch over there? What are you playing on?
I was just PlayStation 5.
Oh, Slime Rancher. huh?
This really hasn't been a game that I've played in years and years. I've been playing 7 Days to Die, the beta, and I just needed something that was non-zombie killing to kind of take up my time for a few hours, and it's been kind of fun. Now I'm kind of into it.
Nice.
Damn.
All right, so last question here, and this is kind of funny. I think it might be geared towards younger players, but we're going to say it anyway because it's kind of funny. If you had a choice of punishments, would you rather do extra chores or lose your computer privileges?
Good question.
If I was in trouble,
Yeah, if you had a punishment because you screwed up.
I guess I would do the extra chores. That'd be preferable to me than losing the computer privileges.
I mean, I guess you define a computer,
yeah.
right?
If computer privileges includes the console, whew,
Give me the extra chores.
Yeah.
I feel I could hammer out the extra chore pretty quickly.
I'd be like, you know what I would do? Get grounded from the TV. Who cares? I'll read a book. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'll
Thanks.
read a book.
Do you
Thanks
guys
for the
remember
grounding.
us getting grounded from the TV all the time, and then Mom made this super dangerous cord? It had male plug on both sides, so that we couldn't plug the TV in when she was at work. So dangerous. You plug it right in, and then there's just 120 volts right at the end of that cable.
What?
Yeah.
I do not remember this at all.
Oh well, it was probably me and Chris were more Hellions than you guys probably were. We knew you hid it in your cupboard, Mom. We know it was hidden in the headboard. We found it all the time.
I remember.
I didn't realize how dangerous it was until I got older.
How does it work with the TV if it doesn't?
So she changed the TV plug to a female end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I guess that would be important to explain. But
Yeah, she's an electrician. She's pretty good
yeah,
at that.
Mom just did anything she needed to do. She's like, hey,
That's
let me
pretty
do that.
impressive.
I'll just do it.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, that's more effective than just hiding it.
She installed the porch light out in the back door.
Very nice.
Is that hard?
Have you ever done it?
Good point.
No.
No, I have not.
Guys, I just can't get past this part. I'm struggling over here.
Tell me about it. I'm stuck.
Oh, the
I
limbo.
was hoping to finish before the end of the channel, but
Are you trying to do a speed run through the whole game? I guess this is kind of a quick game, isn't it?
it is. But I didn't even get to like the super fun, complicated part. I'm like at a loss for what am I supposed to be doing to this part. Probably because I'm too busy answering questions to give this. 'Cause if
I'm
I touch
sorry.
this, I'm dead.
Did you want to have a really bad time?
Anyway. Yeah, chores. Nowadays, chores, that's my whole life, so. I don't know, Cassandra, whatever you got.
Yeah, you're a resident stay-at-home dad right now, so I'm doing it too.
Semi-retired.
Look,
Living the life.
trying to stay
Living
home
the
with my
life.
cats every day. Hey, where'd
Staying
Jack
home
go
with my
when
dogs
we
all
go?
the days. Makes it harder, though, when they pass.
It's true. What's your last animal who passed?
Cash, my boxer, he passed in January.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. That's sad.
Had him for like 8 years, and so for the last couple of years, been at home, either working from home or not working. So that dude followed me everywhere for years. Constant companion by my side.
Yeah,
So for months after, it was really hard.
that is hard. That would be a rough transition.
The house felt so quiet and empty without him there. And on that note, thanks for watching the show.
We'll see you guys next week. We'll talk about like cancer and
Well, when we were on with my mom and Nicole, we talked about mental health. It got kind of dark during that episode,
That's
too.
true. You know, sometimes you just gotta be real with things, and that's all right. We've been pretty real on this show. Episode 2 is all about my aneurysm, and all my friends who'd been watching it, they're like, "This show just sat here and made me cry for 2 hours." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
I didn't cry for 2 hours. We did get teared up. It was a really good
There you go.
episode.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For those listening at home, episode 2, just Emily and I were here and playing Tetris, and we went through the whole story and all the horrible, scary things that happened in February. It's been a rough year for our family, but this has been a really fun show. Thank you guys all for coming here and joining us and having a good party and talking about some fun reminiscing and getting to know you guys. We'll have to have you back on the show. This was a lot of fun. Maybe we can get some wives and Cassandra back and mix it up and
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
yeah, get
She'll
Joy
get
back
on.
on here. She was fantastic. You guys have such a good family and you all game, and I love that you're close and that you all share that awesome bond because it's flipping awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
We're jealous.
Thank you all for joining us online, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.